How are we, folks? I'm Ashley Braddon and welcome along to Head to Head. We're fast approaching the halfway mark of the first series in our noble quest to find Australia's greatest sporting mind. Last week, what a contest. Daniel Viles from Queensland once again held aloft the head-to-head championship belt. This week, he's back to defend his title against a fresh challenger. Now, thanks to the ABC shops, the winner of Series 1 will be off to the AFL Grand Final and also earn the right to play off at the end of the year against the Series 2 champion. Now, the victor of that head-to-head Grand Final on that famous first Saturday in December will be jetting off to the UK for the finals of Wimbledon. There's plenty at stake. They'll also win the belt. Let's get on with it, folks. Let's meet our competitors. And our champion is Daniel Viles. His most embarrassing sporting moment was missing 3 games of cricket because he couldn't find the grounds. Daniel, what's going on with your sense of direction?
It wasn't good. It was Year 12, playing the school second 11, and one ground I was walking around it for an hour and a half before I finally found the entrance, got there and was not happy. Well,
hope you got a better sense of direction tonight.
Hope so.
You're shooting for a bit of history here tonight. Now, under the laws of head-to-head, the defending champion at the end of show 17 will be required to make a mandatory defence against the former champion with the longest winning streak. At the moment, that's Rajesh Singh from South Australia, but you're hot on his heels. You win tonight and it's all locked up. Let's bring on your opponent. Our challenger is Anne McCall, a project manager from Concord in New South Wales. Her petrol head credentials are backed up with the news that a sporting hero is none other than Mick Doohan. Can you please welcome Anne? Great to have you here, Anne.
Thanks, Ashley. How are you?
How does it feel?
Yeah, I'm starting to wish that my hobby was knitting rather than playing sport.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll find we're a friendly bunch. Well, I am. He's known to sledge, actually.
No.
Daniel, can you go easy on Anne tonight?
I would be hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I'm not touching her, I say.
Don't trust him. I'll tell you what, if you hit the front, he'll fire up as well. But best of luck, Anne.
Thanks, Ashley.
Let's get on with it, folks. Let's get started. The first quarter of head-to-head. As always, a nice, gentle start to get us underway. We ask you 10 questions. They're either multiple choice or they're true or false. 1 point for a correct answer, no penalty for a wrong answer. Just let it rip. There's nothing to lose here. And Daniel, as the champion, you hit the hot seat first. Last week was a very slow start for you, my friend.
Very slow.
Only 4 out of 10.
I've seen European movies quicker than that.
Good luck. 10 questions, true or false, multiple choice. You know the rules by now. Let's get going. True or false? Kieran Perkins broke the world record in his gold medal swim at the Atlanta Olympics.
False.
Correct. Defending champ is underway. Nice to get that first one out of the road real early.
It's gone.
Here we go. Question 2. Which one of the following nations has not won soccer's World Cup? A, England, B, Argentina, C, Uruguay, or D, Netherlands?
The Netherlands.
Correct. Perfect record. True or false? Tulloch won the Melbourne Cup.
False.
Correct. Question 4 of 10. Which VFL team did John Coleman play for? A, Essendon, B, Fitzroy, C, Richmond, D, Melbourne?
We'll go Essendon.
I'd say you're correct. Is that a guess?
It was in the back of my mind somewhere, but it was rolling.
You're going well. You've got 4 correct. We're up to question number 5. True or false? Queensland won the first ever State of Origin rugby league match.
True.
Correct.
2010.
20 points to 10. Great night. Now, of the following, who has not won a US Open singles title? A, Hannah Mandlikova, B, Justine Henin-Ardenne, C, Lindsay Davenport, or D, Maria Sharapova?
Maria Sharapova.
Correct. True or false? The Olympic motto is Citius, Altius, Fortius.
That's true.
Swifter, higher, stronger. Correct. You're off to a flyer. Our defending champ, John Landy, is famously remembered for stopping to help which athlete after he'd fallen? A, Roger Bannister, B, Ron Clark, C, Ronald Delaney, or D, Herb Elliott?
Ron Clark.
That's correct. Nobody has answered all 10 questions correctly in the first round of head-to-head. You're 2 questions away from it. Good luck. Keep it going, mate. True or false? Neil Harvey captained the Australian Test cricket team.
Once. True.
Correct. This is for a world record, folks. Final question. Which of the following has never been an Olympic sport? A, lawn bowls, B, tug of war, C, croquet, D, lacrosse.
Lawn bowls.
A new world record on head-to-head. That's correct. Put your hands together for the champ. We can claim it as a world record.
We can.
I think that's fair enough. Well, there's not too much to say. That is an absolute cracking start. Back to the champion's post for you. You've certainly left Anne with some work to do. Anne, hit the hot seat. Should have been here last week. He was useless. Four last week. How are you feeling?
No, after that, pretty average, but that's okay.
How did you go?
Yeah, let's not say. No.
All right.
That's right.
You can come back here, OK? There's plenty of opportunities. You've got 10 questions, true or false, multiple choice. Relax, you're in the hot seat.
Right.
Let's get underway. Good luck, Anne.
Amazing.
Question number 1 is true or false. The lowest rugby league grand final score was 4-2, Parramatta v Canterbury in 1986.
False.
It's true. Which of the following Australian Test cricketers was born in New Zealand? A, Ian Chappell, B, Clary Grimmett, C, Jack Ryder, or D, Max Walker?
Grimmett.
Correct, you're away. Round of applause for the challenger. It's real nice to get that one out of the way early. Well done, Anne. You're going fine. True or false? Question 3. A women's marathon has been held at every World Athletics Championships.
False.
Incorrect, it's true. Since Hurricane Katrina, where have the New Orleans Hornets NBA team played most of their home games? A, Austin, Texas, B, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, C, Houston, Texas, or D, Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Oh, I'll say Houston.
Incorrect, Oklahoma City. True or false, a New Zealand driver has won the Formula One motor racing championship?
False.
True, Denny Hume back in 1967. Up to question number 6. Which of the following Australian sports stars never entered state or federal politics? A, Sam Loxton, B, Hubert Opperman, C, Robert de Castella, or D, Kirsty Marshall?
Hubert Opperman.
Incorrect, it was Deke, okay. Robert de Castella. True or false, Sydney has hosted an Empire or Commonwealth Games?
Oh, yes, they have. True.
That is correct. It was in 1938. Well done, Anne. A few questions to go to wrap up the first quarter. Who has won the most premierships in the WAFL? A, East Fremantle, B, South Fremantle, C, East Perth, D, West Perth?
I'll take a stab and say South Fremantle.
Incorrect. A, East Fremantle. True or false? Switzerland has won the America's Cup of Yachting.
True.
Correct. Final question. Which of these horses did not win the Melbourne Cup twice? A, Peter Pan, B, Rain Lover, C, Think Big, D, Rising Fast?
Rising Fast.
Correct. Good way to wrap up the first round. Hands together for Anne. You've answered 4 correctly there. You've blown the cobwebs away, settled the nerves just a little bit. You're in this contest. You go back to the challenger's post. A good way to start off. OK, it's quarter time in the battle for the belt, and the score is our defending champion Daniel. A perfect record on 10 points leads Anne on 4.
Ever pondered the possibility of Don Bradman being connected with Dame Edna Everage? Find out in Degrees from the Don. To seek anonymity when dining out in the 1960s, the Don was known to go by the alias Fred. Freddie was the nickname given to rugby league great Brad Fittler, who made his first grade debut with the Sydney football club Penrith, which is also the name of a town in the UK where the schooling of the great poet William Wordsworth began, whose poetry included a famous work about daffodils, a flowering bulb. Other flowering bulbs are gladioli, made famous by the onstage antics of Dame Edna Everage. Dame Edna, Degrees from the Don, 5.
And it's time for the second quarter of Head to Head. And we like this round, 2 minutes up on the clock to answer up to 20 questions on your special subject. Again, 1 point for a correct answer and no penalty for a wrong answer. You can pass if you'd like to as well. We'll return to that question if time permits. Daniel, defending champion, you lead us off. Hit the hot seat. Hey, tell me, you go to the local pub trivia competition down the road on a Saturday night. Are you banned all around the country?
No. Being 6'4" and blonde, I'm able to maintain a low profile. And no, I do enjoy my pub trivia, but I haven't played for a little while yet. But there are plenty of guys I know who are better than me.
Really?
At general trivia, yeah. Sports, can't touch me, but yeah. Sorry, head in.
Do you think you could be Australia's greatest sporting trivia mind?
I think I've got a chance.
I just wish you had some confidence. OK, let's have a look at it. Your specialty subject tonight, Grand Slam tennis winners since the 1980s. Good luck. 2 minutes on the clock. Perfect record so far as well. Be nice to keep that intact for a little bit longer. Your time starts now. Who was the last French player to win the French Open?
Yannick Noah.
Incorrect. Mary Pierce. How many sets did Rafter and Philippoussis play in the 1998 US Open final?
4.
Correct. Lasting 256 minutes, the longest ever Wimbledon men's singles final was contested in what year?
1980.
Incorrect, 1982. In what year did Marat Safin win the US Open?
2000.
Correct. Which Grand Slam title did Ivan Lendl fail to win?
Wimbledon.
Correct. What was Roger Federer's seeding when he won the 2003 Wimbledon title?
4.
Correct. Who partnered Jeremy Bates to win the Australian Open mixed doubles
Joe
title?
Geary.
Correct. Whose 1995 French Open victory was his only Grand Slam singles title?
Thomas Muster.
Correct. At which event did Jennifer Capriati win her first Grand Slam title?
The Australian Open.
2001, correct. Who was the lowest seeded player to win the Wimbledon women's singles?
Pass.
Who did Rafael Nadal beat in the 2005 French Open final?
Pass.
Which two players contested the 1996 Wimbledon men's singles final?
Richard Krajicek and Malachi Washington.
Correct. In what year did Andy Roddick win the US Open?
2003.
Correct. Who won the men's and women's singles at the 2000 Australian Open?
Andre Agassi and Jennifer Capriati.
And Lindsay Davenport, incorrect. How many unseeded players have won the Wimbledon men's singles?
1.
Incorrect, 2. Who won the French Open in 1983?
Men's or women's?
Men's.
Yannick Noah.
Correct. Who did Roger Federer beat in the 2005 US Open final?
Andy Roddick.
Incorrect, Andre Agassi. How many times has a wild card won either the men's or women's singles at Wimbledon?
Once.
Correct. How many games did Marat Safin win in the opening set of the 2005 Australian Open final?
3.
Incorrect, 1. Who won the 2005 French Open women's singles title? Siren sounded. We can't take the answer. It was Justine Henin-Ardenne. Siren has sounded. We can't take it. It was Justine Henin-Ardenne, but you were just beaten for time. Put your hands together for the champion. Pretty good effort in the second quarter of head-to-head. Now, I know that you're playing along at home. Daniel passed on a couple of questions, so I'll clear that up for you now. The lowest-seeded player to win the Wimbledon women's singles title was Venus Williams. She was seeded 14 in 2005, and Rafael Nadal beat Mariana Puerta in the 2005 French Open final. Pretty good effort there. You're up to 21 points. Daniel, back to the champions' corner for you. You've certainly left Anne with some work to do. And Anne, you can hit the hot seat. OK, Anne. This is where we're going to make a move.
Yeah, we'd like to hope so.
You feeling good?
Yeah, average.
All right.
Again.
Just relax. We've got plenty of time. You've got plenty of chances to come back here. You need a big round, and your specialty subject is Super 12 rugby. Of course, Super 12, Super 14 this season in 2006. But you obviously follow the rah-rah.
I follow all league, actually, all footy, actually, so...
All right, well, let's see how you go. Good luck. 2 minutes on the clock. And your time starts now. Which is the only side to have completed a hat-trick of titles?
Crusaders.
Correct. Who was the first side to go through a season without a win?
The Bulls.
Correct. What year did the ACT Brumbies win their first title?
2001.
Correct. Who was the Waratahs' top try scorer in 2005?
Lottie Takiri.
Incorrect. Peter Hewitt. Which Super 12 team is based the furthest south?
Otago Highlanders.
Correct. Who was the first player to score more than 200 points in a Super 12 season?
Andrew Mertens.
Correct. Who was the coach of the ACT Brumbies who was sacked despite the Brumbies winning the 2004 title?
David Nusafora.
Correct. In which city do the Sharks play their home matches?
Durban.
Correct. Which former Reds back signed with the Waratahs for 2006?
Wendell Saylor.
Correct. Which New South Wales player accidentally kicked a field goal against the Chiefs when New South Wales needed a 4th try to qualify for the semis?
The prop. Pass.
Which former Brumbies player holds the record for the most career Super 12 titles?
Sorry, could I have the question again?
Which former Brumbies player holds the record for the most career Super 12 titles?
Pass.
Which Super 12 ground is known as the House of Pain?
The Tiger Highlanders. Pass.
Which Super 12 side did All Black Christian Cullen represent?
Wellington Hurricanes.
Correct. Who coached the New South Wales Waratahs in the 2003 Super 12 season?
Ewan McKenzie.
Incorrect. Bob Dwyer. How many teams won the first 5 titles?
2.
Correct. As of the end of the 2005 season, which side held the record for both the most and the fewest tries in a season?
Auckland.
Correct. Who did the Crusaders beat to win the 1999 title?
Highlanders.
Correct. Who scored the first try in Super 12?
Iramia.
Correct. How many tries did the Crusaders score against the Waratahs? Siren has sounded, can't finish the question there. That is a good effort, though. She's fought her way back bravely, folks. Anne has issued a strong challenge there. Well done, Anne. 13 questions correctly there. Now, you passed on a couple of questions there, Anne. I'll get to that in a moment. I did misread a question, though. It was my mistake through the course of the action there, so I'll give you the opportunity now to answer that. The question is, which former Brumbies player holds the record for the most career Super 12 tries?
Joe Roth.
Joe Roth is correct. We can add another point to your tally. Moving another step closer to the champion. Well done. Tell you what, the pressure was getting to me there. That was pretty intense stuff. The 2 questions that you did pass on the Super 12 ground known as the House of Pain is Carisbrook in Dunedin, and the New South Wales player that accidentally kicked that field goal against the Chiefs when New South Wales needed a bonus point. It would have to be a prop forward, wouldn't it?
Matt Dunning.
Matt Dunning, of course. I knew that the answer was on the tip of your tongue, but you fought back bravely. Well done. Back to the challenger's post for you. It was a blowout early, but the challenger has fought back bravely. Half-time in the battle for the belt, and the score is Daniel on 21, leading Anne on 18.
Now a question for the trivia buffs at home as we play What Happened Next. Going into the final quarter of the 1971 VFL Grand Final, Hawthorn full forward Peter Hudson had only to kick 1 goal to break Bob Pratt's long-standing record of 150 goals in a season.
151st goal coming up. He kicked it. Peter Hudson, his 151st goal.
If you guessed Hudson kicked into St Kilda's Barry Lawrence with a record standing to this day, then you are spot on.
Time now for the 3rd quarter of Head to Head. This is the big one, the all-important Premiership quarter, the money quarter. Our competitors go head-to-head, 2 minutes of questions to battle it out. Still 1 point for a correct answer, but now there's a 1-point penalty if you get it wrong. Same rules apply when you're playing at home as well. No arguments in the living room, please. Let's put 2 minutes on the clock, let's get started. I'll tell you just before we do get underway, no one has been beaten after they have been leading at the end of 3/4 time. Just a little bit of extra pressure there for you as we approach the 2 minutes. Good luck. How are you feeling, Daniel?
Very good, thank you, Ashley. How about you?
I'm great. I'm great. Anne?
Yeah, not too bad now, thanks.
All right. You fought back well. See if you can continue it. 2 minutes. And your time starts now. Who won the 2003 NRL Grand Final? Daniel.
Penrith.
Correct. How many VFL AFL clubs did Ron Barassi coach? 4. How many Australian cricketers have been knighted? Daniel?
1.
Correct. What is Bart Cummings' first name?
James.
Anne? Correct. Wait for your name to be called. What country did Jelena Dokic play Fed Cup tennis for in 2004? Anne?
Australia.
Incorrect. Serbia and Montenegro. Which ABC television commentator screamed, "Gold! Gold to it!" Daniel?
Norman May.
Correct. Who was the Australian Prime Minister at the time of the Brisbane Commonwealth Games? Daniel?
Malcolm Fraser.
Correct. With which sport would you associate Eddie Charlton? Anne?
Snooker.
Correct. Who was the first Australian golfer to win the US Open? Daniel?
David Graham.
Correct. In what year did Yvonne Goolagong first win the Wimbledon, Daniel?
1971.
Correct. Breaking the record for the 379-kilometre run across the Simpson Desert in 1996 was Pat who? Daniel?
Farmer.
Correct. In what country was golfer Vijay Singh born? Anne?
Fiji.
Correct. Breaking the world record for the 100-metre sprint in 2005 was Jamaican Asafar Daniel?
Powell.
Correct. Who won the 2005 Champions League final in a penalty shootout against Daniel?
Liverpool.
Correct. Who was presented with a cow named Juliet for winning the Wimbledon, Daniel?
Roger Federer.
Correct. Which famous trophy is known as the All Mug? Daniel?
The America's Cup.
Correct. In what sport was Lindsay Hassett a famous name? Anne?
Cricket.
Correct. The first Australian golfer to win the Women's British Open was Corinne who? Anne?
Dibner.
Correct. Which team has won the most titles in the current National Netball League? Daniel?
The Sydney Swifts.
Incorrect. Melbourne Phoenix. Who won the last Olympic gold medal in rugby union? Daniel?
The USA.
Correct. Who did Leighton Hewitt play in a tough 5-set opening round of the 2006 Australian Open? Anne?
Shayla.
Incorrect. Robin Vick. Siren has sounded. That's the end of the Premiership quarter. Another good one for the champion. Put your hands together, please.
Well done.
Yeah, he makes his move when the pressure is on. It's three-quarter time in the battle for the belt and the champion is out in front. Daniel on 32 leads Anne on 21.
Now they've actually a bit of, and they've just kicked him. Now here's a go. He's swinging the bat at him, and there's going to be a bit of a punch up here.
Dennis Lilly copped a $120 fine and a 2-match suspension over this incident, while Javed Miandad got away scot-free. They disagree on who was to blame, but what can't be in dispute is that the altercation was far from pretty.
Time for the fourth and final quarter on Head to Head. Here we go, folks. We're going to find out who the winner is in just a moment. This is it. Time to sort out the contest. Everything is at stake here. The battle for the belt. There's now 2 points for a correct answer. Equally, a 2-point penalty applies if there's a mistake. Good luck to both of you. You've got a commanding lead at the moment, Daniel. You lead by 11, 32 points to 21. Anne, you need a big round here. Best of luck.
Make a move.
Daniel's shooting for a slice of history to join Rajesh as a 3-time champion on Head to Head. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's get down to it. Your time starts now. In what sport was Australia's Kevin Berry a world record holder? Daniel?
Swimming.
Correct. Rugby league legend Dally Messenger was christened with what first name? Herbert. Which footballer had a hit with the song I'm an Individual? Daniel?
Mark Jackson.
Correct. Which sport is famously played at Hogwarts in the Harry Potter stories? Daniel?
Quidditch.
Correct. In a famous photo from the 70s, Alan Shepard is seen playing golf where? Anne?
On the moon.
Correct. In what sport is the catch pole medal awarded? Anne?
AFL.
Incorrect. Rugby union. Who was the first cricketer to be named Australian of the Year? Alan Border. Becoming the first unseeded player to win the Australian Open in 1976 was Mark Daniel?
Edmondson.
Correct. In which Australian city is the Ascot Racecourse located? Daniel?
Brisbane.
Incorrect. Perth. What was the name of the Australian yacht that sank racing against New Zealand in the America's Cup Challenge? One Australia. In which sport is Australia's Travis Niederpelt a rising star? Swimming. Who did David Boone play his last test against? Daniel?
Sri Lanka.
Correct. Which city will host the 2010 Winter Olympics, Daniel?
Vancouver Whistler.
Correct. In boxing, who was known as Marvellous Marvin? Anne?
Marvin Hagler.
Correct. What beginning with G is the hook used to lift game fish into a boat called? It's a gaff.
Yeah.
Which one of Australian rugby's famous Alla brothers wasn't a twin? Anne?
Mark.
Incorrect. Gary. What is Tiger Woods' first name? Anne?
Irving.
Eldrick. Incorrect. Which sportsman's name is mentioned in the songs We Didn't Start the Fire, Vogue and Mrs Robinson? Daniel?
Joe DiMaggio.
Correct. Siren has sounded. The champ has done it again, folks. What a champion he is as well. Put your hands together, please. He did it last week. He did it again. Finished off with a wet sail. Daniel is our champion once again. 44 points to 19. Magnificent effort. A magnificent champion. And Anne, You issued a strong challenge there. Started off a bit slowly, but that second quarter you really owned. Well done.
Too good for me.
Yeah, it was a great effort by you, though. Unfortunately, I have to ask you to return back to the dressing sheds. You're a wonderful competitor, though. Thanks very much. Put your hands together for Anne. Well done. Good on you. Anne leaves us without the belt, but she does pick up a gift voucher that she can use at any ABC shop. And Daniel, congratulations, mate. You're keeping the dream alive. You might be Australia's greatest sporting mind.
There we go.
You get the belt for another week. Show it off, mate. You've earned the right. There he is, our champion, Daniel. He's earned the right to hold up the championship belt, and he'll return next week to try and defend his title. We'll see you then. Good night.